Hi everybody, Quiveen here from the comfort of my kitchen. In today's video, we are going to be looking at the names of some stars and planets, something that I like to do every now and again on this channel. We are starting in the countryside because we are going to be looking for, on some occasions, faint stars. And I will start by quickly recapping the last time I mentioned the names of stars and planets and a little bit about why the names of stars and planets can be important and can be interesting. So firstly, here we go. These are stars with planets going around them. These little spiky circles mark other solar systems, or at least other potential solar systems. So I have there is a video from, I think, a few months ago now, not a very recent video, but in the past, I did mention that a planet that we believed existed, in fact, turns out not to have existed. For the vast majority of these planets, they haven't been directly observed. This is starting to change, and I will get to that. But for example, this is the area that the Kepler Space Telescope looked at. The Kepler Space Telescope measured light curves. It was generally looking for planets based on fluctuations in the star's light. And if a planet comes between you and a star, it'll block out a little bit of the light, so you'll see a little bit of a dip. If you see this dip regularly, you can eventually conclude that there is a planet involved. If you see a regular dip of the same amount, okay, so it is a little bit cluttered here and hard to tell, but these are all solar systems, stars and planets that were discovered by the Kepler Space Telescope. You can see a couple of them weren't. That was discovered by the two-mass telescope over there. It's got the J, a way of writing the time and date, the epoch on it there. There's another one of the Kepler stars. So if I'll leave that selected and I'll slide these out of the way if I can. Something like this. There we go. So we can see here the star is called Kepler 867, and down here the planet, the exoplanet, would be Kepler 867b. So I have mentioned in previous videos how these names can be kind of boring. These names can be repetitive, and that can lead to confusion and boredom. People are not going to be as happy listening to all of these numbers getting rattled off as they would if they were listening to, names that were a little bit more understandable in English. The International Astronomical Union has renamed various stars in the past, and the one that I normally mention is the star and planet that was renamed by Ireland, and it is up over here. So we're looking in the constellation Canis Venatici or Canis Venatici, which is here-ish. Cor Caroli is around here somewhere. Maybe it's this one. There we go. There's Cor Caroli. That's the brightest star in Canis Venatici. There's a galaxy out there. That's nice. And we're in the constellation Canis Venatici or Canis Venatici, but much, much closer to the bottom of the Great Bear, the tail of Ursa Major here. Hat P36, I believe, is the name that is given to the star, or the name that was given to the star, the designation. I've searched for it previously, so it should come up. Yeah, Hat P36. A little bit of that's okay. It is a tough one to spot. And we can see here's the new name for it. So it was referred to as Hat P36, the High Altitude Telescope's 36th discovered planet. And there is now Tuiren, the name, and Bran, the name of the planet which was called Hat P36b. So this star and planet, they are named after a piece of Irish mythology where a young woman named Tuiren is turned into a dog by an evil fairy. She gives birth to two puppies, Bran and Skjolon. Tuiren is eventually turned back into a human, but the dogs are stuck as dogs and become famous hunting dogs for various myths and legends. And of course, Canis Venatici, it's the constellation of the hunting dogs. That competition, I believe it was 2019, was not the first time that the International Astronomical Union renamed some stars and planets. Because of the interest in exoplanets and promoting exoplanets as an interesting thing to study, they, in many cases, were given new names, not just in 2019, but in 2019, over 100 different countries around the world, all of the member states of the International Astronomical Union, they all got a star or a planet to name, and they were encouraged to use names that were names that came from native languages or heritage languages, not necessarily the most common language in the country. So, of course, in Ireland, we have Irish as our native language, a native language and a heritage language for many people. So, Tuiren and Bran, Irish names, and that works. That's great. This was in 2019. As I mentioned, not the first time the International Astronomical Union has done this. So we are going to move a little bit closer to morning time. There we go. There's Pollux. And there is Thestius. So Thestius wasn't always called Thestius. Thestius was originally called, it was probably called Pollux B or Beta Geminorum B or Beta Gemini B. Maybe it's Geminorum. I'm not sure if the Gemini is plural in that instance. But this exoplanet was just called B, like exoplanets normally are. But in 2015, the International Astronomical Union took about 19 or 20 stars and planets, solar systems, and renamed them in this way. So this planet, which was called Pollux B or Beta Gemini B, got renamed as Thestius. The star Pollux already had a common name, so we didn't need to rename that one. But that wasn't true in every case. Looking up in the constellation of Aries up here, that's Alpha Arieae and Alpha Arieae. That particular plural is a little bit tricky for me to pronounce anyway. I'm sure anyone who studied Latin in school would have a much better time of it. But I am looking up in the constellation of Aries, up in this direction. I'm looking for Mu, or at least what was called Mu. I might not be able to write Mu like that. I might have to actually use the Greek letter Mu, which is this one. M for micro, and then we go Arieae. There we go. So this isn't the one I was looking for. This is Mu. This is in a different constellation, if I remember correctly, and it's not coming up, but doesn't matter too much. Of a star and planet that was renamed in 2015 by the International Astronomical Union, called Cervantes, after the Spanish author of the book Don Quixote. There's Cervantes, and is Cervantes a binary star system? Maybe it is. Maybe I'll have to click around here to get the right one. I do particularly want the one that is a solar system, and it is a solar system, because the other objects in the solar system, there we go, have names inspired by the books. So these are the years they were discovered, but they were named in 2015. So as I mentioned, Cervantes, the author of the book Don Quixote. There's Quixote, Dulciana, Rocinante, and Sancho. I believe that one of them was following Cervantes, another was his horse, another was the sweet woman that he was after, Dulce. I won't get into the puns and stuff here, but I think Rocinante is also a pun, but I won't get into it. These are some of the ones that were renamed in 2015, and they weren't all romance. Like this one is, but of course it's not from Greek mythology, it's from Spanish literature, so it is significantly more modern and more local to Spain, whereas Thestius, that's Latin. And of course Latin is native to Italy, but the Italian is what's spoken there now. All of the Romance languages are descended from Latin. It's not as local to any particular place. Now, I do know that there are a couple of non-European. There we go. 47 Ursa Majoris. It is, Chalawan got renamed. And I believe this is Thai or Thai. I think it's Thai. I can never remember if I'm supposed to pronounce the name of that language. There we go. So here we go. A couple of, this planet only discovered in 2010 doesn't seem to have gotten a name. That's fair. But these are, I'm not going to try to pronounce them. I'm not confident enough. But these are Thai names from Thai mythology. So this is something that's at least not European. In the first 20 names that were used, there was a lot of Latin. There was a lot of modern languages, the languages that have traditionally dominated science in the West. There is a push to start using more languages, more diverse languages, endangered languages, native languages that are maybe have fallen out of favor because more international languages are considered more prestigious or prestigious. Either way, even as far back as 2015, the International Astronomical Union was using these other names. In the first round of 20, there was at least a couple of them. In 2019, Ireland got to name a star and a planet in Irish. There was 100 different things named, with loads of names from loads of different languages from all over the world. And then the International Astronomical Union did it again in 2022. I only recently found out about that myself. And if you'd like to find out more about it, you'll have to stick with me to the, you'll have to stick with this channel until my next video. So this is sort of part one. I will be talking more about the names that were given in 2015 and the names that were given in 2022, the newest round of them, in the next video, where I will continue discussing exoplanets and these various solar systems. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, which is sort of the introduction, the prequel to the real meat, where I eventually will talk about the newest competition in 2022. But I hope you enjoyed this video either way, and I hope that you like it and that you subscribe to this channel so you're more likely to see the next video. And if you'd like to read some of this information, you can check out my website, queevinscontent.ie. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time.